So,
Yeah.
friendly reminder, Q4 is upon us.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably by the time this episode goes live, we'll be like just starting Q4.
yeah. So, we need a holiday marketing plan. We need to push through and really make our Q4 count.
Yeah.
And we did a financial episode, so hopefully you have your Q4 financial shit together. And so, I think September through December can be some of the most valuable months of the year if you put your foot on the gas, which not a lot of people do.
Sure. I think I often, as a marketer, see people like, love their summer. No one really wants to talk to us unless it's like doing cool merch or like, something for a golf tournament, whatever. And then kids go back to school. Parents still kind of remain busy, or like life kind of remains busy up until like mid-October. And then all of a sudden it's like holiday panic. And then by then you're like, okay, but now we have to come up with a plan that takes more time. Then you're not really getting ramped up until like November. And then
You're late.
You're late. You're late to the party. So I think if you are a business that wants to hit it hard in Q4, start in September as soon as you can. As soon as you hear this episode, you should be focusing on your marketing going forward. A lot of businesses, like business owners, we like to enjoy summer, but sometimes that can be like the best time to start your marketing because then you're like ahead of your competitors in that way.
For sure. So if you are not well versed in marketing and you've never really heard the term marketing plan, talk to me a little bit about what that might look like. What does a Q4 marketing plan look like? What things does it include? What things should we be watching for?
Yeah, so much like you tell people to review their finances and set their goals, that's exactly what you should be doing with your marketing. Like, how many new clients do you want to obtain? And then work back from that. Now, what are we going to do to obtain those things, right? Because at Fox and Forth, we do many facets of marketing. We do promo, we do planning, we do social, we do ads, we do many of those things. And I don't think necessarily when I say, hey, marketing, it should be all in one bucket.
Okay.
You should be looking at your marketing and being like, okay, like how many network events am I going to show up to? How many things am I going to sponsor? How many social media ads am I going to do? Do I have someone actively managing my brand so it shows up? Like, all of these things will feed into your overall goal.
So when I think Q4, I do think a lot of the things that you talked about, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, a bazillion Christmas parties, and client gifts. So how much of that should we be participating in as small business? And then also, how can we make the most of those activities so that we're really getting bang for our buck for all of the like holiday chaos that happens between, because I kind of think it starts even in September, like you have back to school and then Thanksgiving and then, Christmas.
I think it's like holiday, like from now until then, we obviously have like some form of holiday happening.
Yeah.
Right. But I think you need to sit down and look at your numbers and decide what that means for your business. Like everyone says like, oh, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we should do like big discounts and clearance and this, that, and the other thing. But like, is that actually like good for your business? Are you going to make more money? Or should you frame it in a way that it's an offer that isn't causing you to cut your prices or give things away for free?
I love that. Oftentimes they say, like from a financial perspective, that if you add something, like if you buy this much, you get this thing, that's much less expensive for your business in terms of value versus cost than it is to discount. Because if you discount, you're just taking revenue right off the top line. If you add something, you're adding something that maybe you pay $10 for, but the client sees value of $25. And to get that same value at a discount, you just have to discount $25. So I love that idea from a numbers perspective.
I mean, it's kind of like speaking the same language, right? But I think I need you to sit down with your books, sit down with your accountant and find out your biggest product, the one that makes you the most money, and then stop treating it like the other 12 services you offer and like really lean into that. Because if your goal is to make more money and not have to put out as much work, then you should be reevaluating your stuff like that in a marketing perspective, right?
For sure. For sure. So we talked a lot about planning, or a little bit about planning actually, and what you should include in that. So I just want to circle back. Like if I'm sitting down to do my Q4 plan, specifically for Q4, I'm a business, like, can you talk to me about how the different pieces of the things that happen in Q4 work together? Like, talk to me about, can you give me an example of how I would link, like, my social to my website, to my events I'm attending, to my, like, a cohesive marketing plan? Can you walk me through an example of that?
Like a little bit of free consulting, is that what you're asking me for right now?
I mean, yeah, I totally am. Not for my business, but just as a rule. Like, give me an idea of the secret sauce. Give me just enough.
Yeah, I think it comes with like looking at your seasonal offers, like what is making you the most money in this quarter, and then making your website, your social, everything that you're talking about link back to that, right? So like your social might be talking about, this X offer. And then when they drive to their website, that's the first thing that they see and can access. Because the thing about people is we have like 2 seconds to capture them and then they're on to the next thing. So if you are not consistently showing them every step of the way the thing that they're interested in, you're going to lose the client.
Yeah, we have the attention span of a gnat.
So like even when you're talking at a networking event, you're talking about that offer, then those people who are in your community that follow you online, they're seeing that offer. And then when they're seeing that offer and they're going to the landing page, it is that offer, and giving that, like, it has to be very like bang, 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 or else see you later. You're going to lose the sale.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. We got to have some cohesion in there, kids.
I think that's like, it might seem like you're talking about the same thing over and over and over again, but like people have to see you an average of 22 times before they even buy your product. So
22?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which is like a lot, right? So it might seem to you like you're sounding like a broken record, but to capture that, that's kind of like what you need. And I could talk about people who just like don't talk about what they offer all day long, right? But
yeah, I mean, I suppose you could, but I think maybe you could tell us a little bit about what are people already buying from you and how we could frame that in a holiday way. Like, do we have to do that? Or like when we're thinking about holiday, how do we bring our most profitable product into that?
Yeah, and I think it comes from talking to reviewing your books, talking to your experts, what this year has been more profitable for you, and then how do you work with your marketing team, or how do you work internally to spin that into a holiday way to increase revenue?
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, for, product and service business, it's really easy. You're having a Christmas sale, you're buying gifts. Like, it's really good, easy messaging, but maybe for, a coaching business or something, it might look a little bit different. Now you're talking about like, are you prepared for the new year? Are you hitting the new year with your goals? Here's my package. Here's how we're going to do that to get you prepped, like sales language, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how you talked about consulting too, because I think, in a B2B world, which is where I am, sometimes we think we're kind of exempted from the holiday craziness. So in B2B world, the holidays come and then everyone sends out the same chocolates to the same people. And I feel like it's so generic. Like if someone really wants to stand out in the B2B world in terms of client gifting, what are some like quick hit, like top 3 things, or how do you help people? How can people stand out from the client gift boredom that is December?
Yeah.
I mean, not saying I'm not grateful for chocolate, kids. If you're sending me chocolate, please.
I mean,
continue.
I would be grateful for chocolate too. So if you want to send it to me, I'll take
but
it.
I'm saying, like, if we're trying to get the most for our money, right? We want to make sure that we stand out.
Yeah. One thing, well, it's different for every business because, when we work with clients, we really take their brand into effect. But I think it's something that 1, aligns with your brand. 2, is like very memorable. 3, do you really need to send something out during the holiday?
I love that.
You know, for me, I do like little things throughout the year and not necessarily like one big gift around Christmas.
Yeah.
Like it'll be anything from, you know, when Fox and Forth has a birthday, I send my clients a birthday card
Oh, that's
and
cool.
like a little gift, and then they open it and it says like happy birthday, and then they probably think like, "Oh, this chick doesn't even know my birthday," but then the card opens up and says like Fox and Forth is actually celebrating our birthday. We wouldn't have been here without you. Thank you so much
Oh, I
for
love
getting us
that.
here, or like whatever the case may be, right? So
Yeah.
it's like those things throughout the year, not necessarily has to be like, because would you rather be like one of 12 chocolate boxes on the office table, or would you want to just appear at a time where they didn't even expect it, right?
Yeah, I love that. I think that would stand out amazing. And
Yeah.
also, it's so appreciative. And appreciation, I think, whenever I've been appreciated by another business, it just hits different. It hits better.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you ever got a gift that you're like, you like remember it, and like what did it come to you as?
You know, we had one meeting, and it was during busy season, and you were helping us plan for, I want to say, our client appreciation event, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
And I was talking about how I eat condiments in tax
Oh.
season. Like I'll have
Yeah.
like, you know, crackers and cottage cheese and like a can of tuna. Like I don't eat meals. I just like eat items.
Yeah.
And a couple days later, this like basket shows up with food in it, real food. And the card was just like, just want to make sure you're not eating condiments all tax season. And I was like, that is such a memorable gift. I still talk about it. I still tell people about it. But it's just that like, we were in a B2B situation. And I
Yeah.
think this was kind of before even that we became besties. Like we were still kind of new, but like building our business relationship.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking how thoughtful, but also what a great way to prove that you're paying attention. You know, like when you're in a meeting with a client, they say a lot of things about who they are and who their business is. And then days later, something shows up that supports the business I'm in, the time of year I'm in, and my number one problem that is outside of marketing. And what I got from that is you're paying attention. If you're paying that much attention to one meeting, obviously you're going to put that much care and attention into my marketing.
Yeah.
So that was probably my most memorable one.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that I could be your most memorable.
Yeah, of
That's so
course.
exciting. But I do think that is my brand, right? Like I'm a marketer. I listen to what people need and I execute and get them the goals that they wish, right? So it's just also like my style is like, you know, to listen and like, you know, show up for people. So yeah, I'm so glad that it like checked the box with you, but also was very on brand for me.
Yeah,
So
perfect.